If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. If you've been before, welcome back. And today's session is fueled by caffeine, corn, noodles and bread, which is probably not the most healthy of a diet. Well, over the winter I did a lot of weed management techniques, so putting down some sheeting and mulch and such like, and that's worked to some extent, but there are some areas that I've missed, so I will be concentrating on them today. I'll also be looking at a little bit of a summer greenhouse that I've created, and that's probably the aim of the next couple of weeks, is to make good, because I've decided that this place is quite pivotal in me maintaining good mental health. It's a source of peace, and the growing side of things is really beneficial, I find. So yeah, it's a bit of time whilst I can to make good, and hopefully make this area something I can come back to time and time again. Well, got quite a bit done. I had my neighbours doing work on their plots, so I didn't feel hugely comfortable filming, but I'll show you what I've done. So probably won't notice much of a difference, other than it's tidy a little bit. Tidier, not tidy. It'll never be tidy. So I've taken up all the bits and bobs there. The garlic is still there. I've moved the astroturf bit from here to over here, which needed it for the weed suppressant a bit more. I'm going to make use of the soil out of the ground as opposed to getting compost to make up the little pots that I'll be making. That's about it. But I think it's time for a break. Well, I may have a coffee later, but for now I'm going to make do with Diet Coke and the greatest of all time noodles. I'm sure you all agree, Coca spicy stir fry. So unfortunately my camping stove has two settings, very low and blasting furnace. Yeah, it's one or the other, but the noodles are quietly boiling away. I might have some buttered bread with it. I've actually brought some margarine. Yeah, I know this is not a healthy meal. This is not a healthy meal, but it's yeah, it's got carbohydrates in it, which will keep me going this afternoon, which, you know, is what I need. Well, the noodles have cooked, just cooling down a bit. I'm going to make a couple of sandwiches to go with them. It's delicious. Just a quick question for anyone who's a fellow allotment here. What do you listen to when you come to the allotment? My sounds of choice are from BBC Radio. They produce a lot of high quality radio dramas. I prefer the plays that they have from the archive, so the 50s and 60s stuff is amazing, some of the 70s stuff as well, like Charles Paris, the Charles Paris mysteries, written by Simon Brett. Paul Temple's a really good one. The BBC adaptations of both Poirot and Miss Marple are amazing. On a non-fiction perspective, there's a program called Sliced Bread, and Sliced Bread looks at whether new inventions such as dishwashers, what else? These things about masks that help with skincare recently, and it's designed to discover whether it's best thing since sliced bread, SB, or marketing, BS. I'll let you figure out what the BS stands for. So what do you listen to? I'd be intrigued to know, you know. So one of the tasks I needed to complete this afternoon was to try and cover up my compost area, which is unfortunately overgrown with items. This is a bit of an autumn job to clear it all down, and I'm listening to myself at the moment and saying I'm not going to get a chance to do this because I've got too many other things to do. So this is me listening to myself and saying, yeah, let's prioritise. So I'm covering it up here. Obviously, watering the soil is as important as getting the sun. And what I was surprised at today was almost immediately after watering the soil, it was almost bone dry. So it really is hot and warm out there at the moment. So I met some of my neighbours today, Martin and Nella, young couple. They kindly donated some cabbages to me and advised that they go under cover. I've put them under glass for now, but I'll try and get some netting, which is probably going to be more appropriate. The glass area is actually going to come in really handy, and yeah, very grateful to my neighbours. And I would say the whole allotment, we have a free cycle area, and I made really good use of that last year. So yeah, it's about making use of the resources, not just your own, but taking help where you can. So probably the main area that I still need to do something with is underneath the trees. That's for another day. So what I've been doing this afternoon is covering up this composting area. It's a bit of a stick and plaster, just to try and avoid too much growth. It's an autumn job that I need to sort out. I might put the tomatoes in here, which is a bit of a makeshift lean-to. Well, they grew quite well in a similar setup last year, so. And of course, the garlic in the ground, and still a few more weeds than I'd like, so yuck. Ugh. Yeah. So I'll leave you with this view from the shed. I like looking out from this position. I had hoped to make some cowboy coffee, but I'll make that next time I'm here, or when the weather's not as good. And yeah, I hope you are all well. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, I can't remember what my sign off is now, but it's something like, I hope the sun is kind to your plots. Anyway, good luck.